has become imperative to fight for the freedoms, protection, and security of the LGBT community when it comes to marriage. Protection, security, and respect are defined as human rights, something that you all should be given at birth, but unfortunately, this isn't the case for America's LGBT community when it comes to marriage. Across 18 states and U.S. territories, same-sex marriage is banned and not recognized by the United States government. Treating the LGBT community with disrespect towards the power of love is unconstitutional and goes against the foundation that the United States was founded upon. To set this community to lower standards than anyone else is discriminatory. That is why you are going to begin to make a difference that will finally bring equality to America. It has been approximately 40 years since the United States government has declared homosexuality as an illness. The American Psychiatric Association removed homosexuality from its list of mental disorders in 1973. The group says that there is no scientific proof that there is a way you can reverse a person's sexual orientation with therapy. Before this, psychiatrists used to advocate treatments such as negative connotation treatment. The person would be put in a room while either having pain of images, video, or speech of homosexuality directed towards them. The pain would be inflicted upon the person to subconsciously link homosexuality with pain. The desired outcome was to convert the person to heterosexuality. This was not successful and a rather cruel treatment to carry on for an unpleasing society. Social support is one of the most satisfying aspects of life. Whether it be from family or friends, it affects a person's health physically and psychologically. The American Psychological Association wrote, allowing same-sex couples the right to marry would give them the access to the social support that already facilitates and strengthens heterosexual marriages. Marriage is not just about getting financial benefits for same-sex couples. They want the social acceptance of people around them. They need this acceptance to live a mentally healthy life with their partner that produces a healthy relationship that any loving couple needs. It was shown in the American Public Journal of Health, after states banned gay marriage, gay, lesbian, and bisexual people suffered a 248% increase in generalized anxiety disorders. A study from the American Psychological Association found during a study with more than 1,500 lesbian, gay, and bisexual participants living in a U.S. state where same-sex marriage is outlawed was directly related to social stress and chronic psychological problems. It's not due to any prior mental illnesses or other factors. This means that these people are directly being affected by a moral issue in ways that drastically damages their mental health. This is not due to prior illnesses. This is directly caused by people against same-sex marriage. Do you want to be someone who disables people their right to love life while giving them mental disorders? With this increase in disorders, it shows the impact that society's acceptance has on people, and that same-sex couples need the emotional support from the government and everyone else, including you, in order to live a content and healthy life with their partner. According to May Gallup poll, 53% of Americans support same-sex marriage, and of that 53%, 26% have converted over from the opposing side within the last 10 years. Society's view on things are changing, and this is for the better. The other 40% are on the opposing side for these three main contentions. Some people believe that marriage is about procreation. The problem with this belief is that if marriage was just about procreation, that would mean that we shouldn't be enabling the people who are infertile to be able to marry as well. But it isn't the couple's fault. It's something they are born with, and they cannot change. The same goes for homosexuals. It's not a choice, it isn't something they can change, it's a way of life. There is no medical evidence, according to the American Psychiatric Association, that there is a choice determined within homosexuals to be gay. Although same-sex couples cannot sexually reproduce, they can help America's epidemic of 104,000 children devoid of a mother and father, to which 18% never have the opportunity of being adopted. Just for a minute, imagine what would happen if we opened up an additional 2 million homes to these children. The next concern is about children being raised in same-sex households, and if the U.S. government allowed these marriages, these children would be devoid of either a mother or father. J. Stacy and T. Biblar states, children without a mother are deprived of emotional security. This statement doesn't take into fact that same-sex couples are said to be more feminine in character than their counterparts of heterosexual couples. Therefore, although they are not mothers, but they are indeed fathers, they will show the support for their children that any parent will reciprocate for their child. U.S. research also shows that the LGBT people are more willing than their straight counterparts to adopt children with special needs who tend to be more difficult to place. The third concern is that if the government allows same-sex couples the right to marriage, then that would also mean they would be entitled to the benefits of a marriage, which include many benefits such as couples being able to visit each other in the hospital and access to family health coverage. This is a valid argument that the opposing side has, but it doesn't seem like a couple that's been together for 48 years, like Dick Nolan and Bob Pink of West Palm Beach, Florida, should be able to visit each other in a hospital, right? Well, in this case, Rachel Saucer observed Dick suffered from a heart attack, and Bob had to rush to the hospital with a mass of papers to prove he was allowed to see his life partner and help him through his recovery. He had to bring stacks of papers in order to see his own boyfriend, and not only that, but 6 hours afterwards, he was finally approved to even be in the room to hold his hand. This doesn't seem right for a couple of 48 years. By allowing couples like Dick and Bob the right to love, this simple action would bring in more love and less hate. A world with less hate would mean little to no more discrimination against same-sex couples. R. Podell states, denying same-sex couples the right to marriage puts lesbian and gay couples as inferior and sends the message that it's acceptable to discriminate against them. Under no circumstances is discrimination okay, but yet there is still discrimination going on within the LGBT community, and it is unacceptable. Luckily, there are people like you that can make a difference and ensure a loving and non-discriminatory environment for everyone. Now that you are informed on the mistreatment of same-sex couples when it comes to marriage, what will happen once it's legalized, and the mistreatment of them when it comes to denying them, the way that you are going to help is by going to freedomtomarry.org, clicking on their tab which states take action, and then signing their pledge which says, I add my voice to those supporting the freedom to marry. I pledge to work to enable same-sex couples and their families to share equally in responsibilities, protection, and commitment of marriage. Again, that is freedomtomarry.org. Thank you all for joining the fight for freedom.